Hello, 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 and welcome, my fellow tilters. You are now going to learn the power of the Super Heavy Samurai. Yes, so how do we get this deck going? How is this deck so powerful? Well, this is a free-to-play version because I only have one wagon. Well, it's kind of free to play because I do have, I do have 3 Soul Piercer and 3 Soul Peacemaker. So I think the key to learning this deck is you gotta learn all the effects first. Now this isn't my finalized build. I still want to optimize this further because especially with baggy sleeves, you kind of want to run this with like 25 to 30 cards because it's very easy for your opponent to just sit there, play around Giga Gloves, and try and deck you out. So, with that being said, let's talk about the effects, and let's get into this deck tutorial video. Alright, one wagon. So, wagon is your, if you play in the TCGs like your Stratos, it allows you to search any Super Heavy Samurai Soul. Now, there is a difference when this thing is changed from defense to attack. But don't worry, because it changes itself from attack to defense on summon. Also, what you need to know is that if they floodgate or Canadia this on summon, then it's going to go back to attack mode because its battle position changes automatically. It summon. So what happens is, let me explain, is that once you floodgate this, right? They go, you summon this, they activate Floodgate. It says it changes its battle position, does not change it to defense. So, they Floodgate this. Now, this effect still resolves because it does not need to be face up on the field. Flips itself back to attack and you get the search. So, that is something you're going to want to know. So, if you think your opponent has a Floodgate, or you see that they have a delay, maybe they think you have a Canard or something, then this is something you want to use. Bad players will fall for this. New players who do not know this deck will fall for it. So it's something you want to keep in mind. Alright? So it searches any Super Heavy Samurai Soul. So none of your regular Super Heavy Samurais. You're primarily going to use this to search your Soul Piercer, your Soul Peacemaker, or your Soul Shield Wall. Or sometimes you'll search this if you think you can go for game. But generally you're searching your horns off of your Soul Piercer. Alright, so next card. Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer. When this is set from the field to the grave, you get to search any Super Heavy Samurai. So it could be a Soul, or it could be just a generic Super Heavy Samurai. So, how are you going to get this thing in the graveyard? Well, you could either summon it, you could bait them to Floodgate it, which is a great way to get them, get rid of their Floodgate. The only thing you have to be careful of is if you go against Involved, make sure that they can't set up Purgatrio. If they can, and this is your only play, you're probably going to lose. But, you know, this is a great way to bait out the Floodgate early. Especially if your opponent gets a little careless, they're going to Floodgate it, so it's a great way. Another way you can get this thing in the graveyard is by equipping it onto the monster you're going to use as Synchro material. So, for instance, if I'm going to use Giga Gloves along with my Trumpeter, I equip this onto Giga Gloves. Now I can Synchro Summon for a level 5 and get a search, maybe for a wall, which allows me to attack directly if I set up my level 7, which you will be able to, thanks to Musashi. So you can get your level 2 back, and then you can able to make a level 7. So that's a good way to be able to get a lot of damage on board, get a big body on board as well. Next, we run 3 Soul Peacemaker. So what does this do? Soul Peacemaker, excuse me, allows you to target any Super Heavy Samurai. You equip this onto it from the hand or field. Any of the souls can equip from the hand or field, so you don't have to worry about summoning them first. And then, you can tribute that monster and be able to summon any Super Heavy Samurai from the deck. So, you can even have this equipped onto like a Soul Piercer, and that could be a great way to get your Soul Piercer in the graveyard. If your opponent is not sure how this interaction works, they were going to Floodgate this before you equip this. The smart move would be to wait for the Synchro before you Floodgate, not set a ton of back row to play against this deck, because if you play against this deck, you don't want to set a ton of back row because you can get punished for that. Alright? But the floodgates are going to be your biggest dilemma, so you're going to want to be smart in playing around them. But anyway, this allows you to tribute any Super Heavy Samurai, and then you could summon any Super Heavy Samurai from the deck. So the one you're generally going to summon off of this is your Giga Gloves or your Flutist. So what does Giga Gloves do? Giga Gloves, when it's sent to the graveyard, this card is insanely powerful. You get to rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck. So it's kind of like Spellbook of Organization. So you get to rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck, but it gets better. So if the next card you draw, if you get direct attacked, and the next card you were going to be able to draw is a Super Heavy Samurai, then their monster is going to go to 0 attack. So that's a really good way to deal with a deck like Cyber Dragon, where they want to summon Chimera Tech, Rampage Dragon, and go for game, and then you just don't let them because you have the Giga Gloves to cut them down to 0. Also, it's great against Shiranui. Why? Because you can wait for their Sun Saga attack and then reduce that to 0. And that sets you up perfectly to deal massive damage because they're going to have a 0 attack monster on board in attack mode, and that's going to be very bad for them. The next card, oh, also, this essentially allows you to get a +1 because you get the free draw after you take the 0 damage, because you will have a Super Heavy Samurai on top because you ordered it that way. And then next turn you get another draw, so that's really good. Next you have 2 Flutists. So what does Flutist do? Well, when it's on the field, you get to tribute it and special summon any Super Heavy Samurai from the hand. But it gets better. When this card is in the graveyard, you banish it to negate a targeting effect that would target your monster, and then you get to destroy it. So, if they have Desire and you banish it, you destroy it. Unless they have like a Tezuka, they're going to lose their Desire. If they have a Dark Magic Circle and they try to banish one of your Super Heavy Samurai monsters, destroy it. If they have a Canadia and they try to interrupt your Synchro Summon, negate it. So there's a lot of things, Malehu as well. So there's a lot of things you're going to want to negate in this meta that you have that thing. So Raikiri, Malehu, Dark Magic Circle, etc. So that's really good. And you can easily summon this. Even if you draw it, you just tribute, and then summon a Super Heavy Samurai in the hand. I'm trying to get more wagons though, so I definitely want more of that. Next, we run 2 Soul Shield Walls. So what does this do? The whole deck focuses on you summoning monsters in defense and attacking while they're in defense. Kind of like Cositis, but not with as much protection. However, what this does, except they do attack with their defense, not their attack. Alright? But, when this card is equipped to a Super Heavy Samurai, it gets 1200 defense. Now, the great thing about this is if you equip this to Stealth Ninja, it goes up to 4000. And if you direct attack them, they're going to take 2000. Why? Because when you use this thing's effect, your Stealth Ninja, has the original defense, so that would go down to 1400. And then you get to increase this thing by 1200 defense. So it actually goes up to 26, excuse me, not 2000. 26. So that is really, really good damage if you're attacking directly. If you have Soul Ones, that's GG. That's going to be GG for them. For you. Excuse me, for you, not for them. So that's a really good way. Also, it could boost up your Kyuubi, your Musashi, any of them, and really get them to big beaters. Next, the star of the deck. 3 Super Heavy Samurai Trumpeter. This is an amazing tuner. Because when you have no spell and traps in your grave, which you won't, you get to special summon this right out of the hand. And you can special summon this as many times as you want. This does not have a hard once per turn. No hop. So you can summon this as many times as you want. Easy summon right to the field. So, one easy combo you could do is you could summon your Soul Piercer, equip on your Soul Peacemaker, tribute the Peacemaker, tribute the Soul Piercer, summon your Giga Gloves, and then with this, search your level 2, special Trumpeter, synchro into your level 5, and then after that, rearrange the top 5 to whatever you think you need on the following turn. And then, after that, you get to go into your Musashi, activate Musashi, add back your level 2, and then if you want, synchro for level 7. And then you don't necessarily have to add back your Trumpeter, you can add back your Wagon if that's in the graveyard, if you want to follow up. Sometimes with baggy sleeves and the way it works, you want your Musashi to be destroyed. So if you don't mind just throwing a body out there, it's not necessarily a bad play. Just throw a body on the board, see how your opponent responds to it. And then if they're going to destroy it, then you're just going to get to draw 2 cards. And then you're going to have your Giga Gloves all set up for more draws. So that's going to be really good. Now, the one I kind of skipped over was Big Wargy. So when this card allows you to essentially be a side of Cyber Dragon, but your opponent does not need to control monsters. You have no spells and traps, just bring it out from the hand. And then it's an easy level 5 non-tuner. So easy way for Synchro Climb. It can also be treated as 2 tribute summons for a machine type. So if you really want to get spicy, you could try this with the following cards. Desperado, right? Because this could be treated as 2 tributes for a machine type monster. So you can tribute for a Desperado. Or, if you want to get even spicier, what about even trying it with something like Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, right? True tributes. But the problem is, it's kind of hard to use this in that deck, because you have to open this for it to be really effective. However, if you wanted to throw one, maybe in your Ancient Gear deck, make a fun deck with that, you could do that. Just giving you some ideas. Now, the last card we want to talk about is Superheavy Samurai Soul Horns. So, much like your social wall, you equip this, and you can double attack. You get 2 attacks. So, an easy OTK combo is once you get that 7 out, you equip your wall and your horns, half it, double attack directly, that's GG. Alright, so now our synchros. Stealth Ninja is your level 7, and it requires a machine type tuner and a non-machine tuner. Now, let me throw some spice in your face. You know what else can use this? Cristrons, right? Because machine type tuner plus a machine non-tuner. The whole deck is machines. Easily synchro summon to this. If you go up against Dark Lord and they want to, and they've already expanded Desire and Cristrons, then throw this out. Why? Because if this thing's on the field in Cristrons, then what are they going to do if they've already expended both Desires? They're not going to be able to swing over Tesca, because they're most likely using Compensation or Destiny Draw. They can't swing over to Excel or Nastin, so the only way they're going to beat this is with Desire. And you can keep halving and poking your opponent directly. If you have Floodgates on the field, then you can just Floodgate additional Desires. Makes it very difficult for Dark Lords to deal with. You could also use the Karakuri if you feel you want to play that deck for whatever reason. That's another way. But basically, when this thing's on the field, attacks with defense position, all the synchros have that effect. If it does, it applies its defense for a damage cal. Your wagon can also attack a defense, so keep that in mind. That could be a great way if you run out of resources that you just want to get a big beater on the field late game. That could be great for you. Also, while this is defense, you have this card's original defense that can attack directly. Now, much like Vampire Lord, if you played in Vampire format 8 years back, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, or Sacred Phoenix Nephis, or Cerulean, but Cerulean can be destroyed, yeah. Much like that, if it's destroyed by a card effect, it's sent to the graveyard, next standby phase, you bring it right back out. So if they're going to be able to destroy this with something like Shiranui Sun Saga, Shiranui Squire Saga, it's going to come back. So that's a great way. So as long as you defend yourself, you keep bringing them back. Next, we have Superheavy Samurai, Ogre, Shootin' Joey, Shootin' Doji. So Shootin' Doji allows us to blow up all their back rows. So it's like X6 Saber Yunlei. If you don't know what that card is, I'm going to show you. So here's Yunlei. So, when this card is synchro summoned, you're going to summon it with a level 3. Generally with a level 4, so sometimes your Soul Piercer and your level 2. This card allows us to wipe the back row, except Yunlei has the target. This doesn't, it just wipes the back row. While you have no spells and traps in the grave. So, and this could also attack a defense, so really good for wiping your back row. Especially after you flood it around Floodgate, you feel that they have like 2 more back row, you can just wipe them. Or sometimes they may not even see it coming. If you use the skill level augmentation, you can even trick them. So, if you have a level 5 of the field, they may not think that, they may not think it out, and then you augment, and then you have your level 6, and then you wipe their back row. So that could be another way to go about it. Next, Superheavy Samurai Swordmaster Musashi. This card essentially is a single climber for you. So if you go into level 5, then this allows you to target a machine type monster in your graveyard and add to your hand. Could be any machine. If you play this with tuners and ancient gear, you can add Reactor or Wyvern back. You could add Desperado back if for some reason you make this. Now, if you really want to be spicy, I'm going to teach you a trick. What grows in the graveyard, right? If you really want to be spicy with what grows in the graveyard, this is a tuner plus for one of our non-tuners. So if you play, I don't know, Junk Synchron Desperado, right? You summon your Junk Synchro, you synchro to this, then you get your Desperado back to your hand, right? When it's destroyed, it's going to be any machine. Except that you can't have a smaller trap in the grave. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Again, that's just a random idea. You don't have to follow that. That's kind of situational. Well, actually, no, you can add it to your hand. You just can't normal or special summon that monster with the same name for the rest of the turn. But if you add Desperado back, it doesn't really matter anyway. And then you have a monster that can attack in defense mode as well. So, maybe you want to try that. Maybe we'll try that in stream. We'll see. Then the last one we have is Kyubi. What is this really good? Well, this is your 9. Level augmentation makes this summon this really easily. So this gains 900 defense. Well, you have no spell tracks, signature graves. For each special summon monster your opponent controls. Everybody special summons its meta. This is going to get really big. It is very common to see this thing over 4,000 defense, which is basically you're attacking this deck. And then really makes it hard. If your opponent lacks removal, they can't get over this thing. So that's really, really good for the final blow. Alright? So let's get into some replays, boys! Alright. Where is it? Whoop. That's not what I want. Come on. Alright. Bandikit versus Yamayuki. Alright, let's get going. Now, here's the deal. So, when we play this deck, you're going to see, I'm going to kind of go through the combo so you kind of see what's going on here.
Here I go.
We're going second against Spell Specialist. This is a really bad open. Grass, Shiranui. So he didn't summon the Kite Roid, so watch what I'm going to do. Special summon the Trumpeter, normal summon, activate Peacemaker. Now the hand got a lot better. Peacemaker tributes their Soul Piercer, summon the Giga Gloves, activate Soul Piercer, search the Big Warrior. There is a better way I could have gone for a game with this, but we end up OTKing him anyway. So Giga Gloves, rearrange, activate, add Piercer, equip Piercer on, special summon, go into Stealth Ninja, activate Piercer. That is not a hard one to return. You can search as many times as you want. Soul Horns, special summon. Now, instead of searching something else, I could have gotten Soul Piercer back from the graveyard, which in that case I could have just added Social War, whatever, and go to the second one. So, double attack! GG! 14 times 3. That is 4,200. That is lethal. Boom! One-shotted. Alright. Now, this one we went up against the Seal the Tomb. Now you gotta be careful with Seal Tombs because Seal Tombs got a couple seconds of decay. Because they can turn off Giga Gloves in your graveyard and they get stolen, so they have appropriate place. So you gotta be careful of that. Alright, so he sets 3 back row. We start with the Flutist. I'm trying to bait out a Slugger Kanan. So it works. Set it out. Go for the Big Warrior. Equip the Soul Piercer. Special summon our Glove Trumpeter. Synchro summon for Stealth Ninja. Activate Soul Piercer. Add our Soul Shield Wall. Equip on. 4,000. He had no other back row. That's game. So it probably was dead back row with the drop or something, and they can't do anything with that. Or Wall D. Now, Bandikit versus Odie. This deck has the potential to end games really, really quickly. So it's something you want to keep in mind. You can really end games really, really quickly. And that's generally how you want to end them anyway. if you can help it. Alright, Flutist. Now, you always want to summon Flutist first. Make sure this gets in the graveyard so you get the protection from targeting. Special summon, activate the Peacemaker. Now, we're going to go into our wagon. Giga Gloves. Sometimes it's just okay to go for wagon, you don't have to synchro summon. So the way I set this up here, so we can equip the Soul Piercer, I just thought because we don't have the ideal hand. So he goes 3 backwards, especially if we go to the 30 on. Because at that rate, it's like, he's just gonna stall us out anyway. So we can wait. Soul Peacemaker is gonna allow us to go for a 2. Now, watch this. There's not a stop us from synchro. Shooting Joey, lose all the back row, doesn't target, floodgate, I don't care. Boom! Now you lose everything. Canadian Drowning God. Big Luigi, Synchro Summon, get that recovery, Stealth Ninja, Wall, OTK. Boom! That's how we do it. That's how you end games with the Superheavy Samurai. So, what is there to know? This deck is crazy. Oh, well, I can show you the one. This replay wasn't with Bandit Keith. This is kind of where I got the idea to play, Baggy Sleeves from, with this deck. So, props to this player. He was a very smart player. This is when I played it with augmentation. So this will show you a different way you can use it with augmentation. So I'll just show you the replay so that way you guys can get an idea.
Duel.
Alright, this is a little bit different. This card allows you to special summon itself if we take battle damage while we have those spells and traps in the grave. So that could be useful. Also, it can't be destroyed by card effects or battle during the turn. You can tech this in if you want.
It's my turn.
I found it to be a bit of a wreck, so I took it out.
I activate
Big Waluigi, Soul Piercemaker,
I activate my
Piercer, boom, get the summons going, get a wagon, Piercer, search our tuner, get that search, wagon, search a wall, and now we're gonna get really big.
Let's get rolling. Let's get rolling. I synchro summon. I activate
Now,
my monster's
our
effect.
level 5 Big Waluigi
I'll
with special
protect-
summon, so you don't have to worry about that.
Let's get
We were able to
rolling.
normal summon that.
I
afterwards.
special summon.
Alright, so
my
augmentation,
rock.
we make that
I synchro
a level
summon a
6,
monster.
a level
Check this.
7,
I
so that
I
way we can
activate
make it a
my
9.
monster's
How were
effect.
we able to make it 7? We augmented our Soul Shield wall. So we made that a 7, then with the tuner we have a 9. Alright?
Okay.
4600. Bing!
Yeah, this is good stuff.
So he's got to be able to use baggy sleeves, that's very smart. Activates his wagon, wagon's gonna search him. Prismatics, Peacemaker, activates Peacemaker, tribute, get that Big Waluigi, special summon. He's gonna go for his Stealth Ninja, level 7, half, 14, okay, that's
My
not
turn.
good enough.
I activate
Quit,
my monster's
tribute.
effect. Time to
We're gonna
rock.
go into R7,
Check
get
this.
some more pressure,
I synchro summon.
and
Go.
that's 20. Oh! So as you can see, Superheavy Samurai are a real legit powerhouse deck. They can definitely get you there. They will get you to King of Games. You just gotta be a little patient because it takes time to learn and master that deck. So you want to be a little patient with them. Alright, so that is the Tilt signing out. Also, tutorial video. Now, I don't have a replays, unfortunately, to show you with Shiranui, but I'm going to come out with a tutorial video for you guys so I can just explore how you want to play the deck. Alright? So, peace out.